In the early 1900s, over 3,100 of the 8,500 seasonal railway workers were from Italy. Many arrived through a kinship system of immigration, where Italians in Canada sponsored family members back home to come and work on various industrial projects, primarily the Canadian Pacific Railway. Schreiber is proud to have one of the most famous examples of chain migrations in Canadian history, the Italian kinship of the Figliomeni family starting in 1905, when 42-year-old Cosimo Filane arrived alone from southern Italy. Cosimo worked on the Canadian Pacific Railway for 3 years before he brought his wife, 4 sons, and daughter to Schreiber. His son Dominic also worked on the railway and eventually became a businessman, opening a grocery store in town. Together with his wife Edith, who was born in Thunder Bay, they raised 4 boys and 3 girls. They named their first boy after Dominic's father, Cosimo, an Italian tradition showing respect to one's father.
My dad came from the southern part of Italy, a little village called Salerno Marina, and that's where we all immigrated. Most of Schreiber is Calabrese. There's a couple of families that aren't, and a lot of them are not here now, but there was a few northern Italy people. But that's where we ended up in Schreiber, and I like Schreiber.
Cosimo grew up with a passion for hockey and a love for singing and entertaining. In 1957, he moved to Toronto on a quest to become an actor.
I'm only there a couple of weeks, and I got on television. And then I did 11 parts in that stay in Toronto, because I used to go in the summertime, because in the wintertime, because this business and the businesses we owned in Schreiber, they were quiet in the winter. So that was my chance to go to school and to go to Toronto, to be an actor. And that's how it started.
To boost his resume, he took singing lessons at Chateau Records, owned by Art Snyder, a famous music producer from the 50s to the 70s. Snyder directed shows like CBC TV's Country Hoedown and The Tommy Hunter Show. Snyder also released 30 LPs and 60 singles by such artists like the Allen Sisters, Tommy Ambrose, and Gordon Lightfoot while he was with the Two Tones. The producers thought the Figliomeni name was too long to put on a record. Cosimo combined the name of one of his favorite singers, Frankie Laine, resulting in
Cosimo Filane, but I never changed it legally or anything like that. And over life of living in Schreiber, getting married and having kids, it all got, how would you say, branded as Filane. So I ended up using it mostly for the show business part of it.
Is there any room for a small town boy in your big town world? Well, I'd like to know.
Cosimo worked hard, knocked on many doors promoting his first recorded songs, and at the same time, he landed a number of acting parts in movies, such as The Unforeseen in 1958 and The Ivy League Killers in 1959.
You're a big town girl. Is there any room for a small town boy in your big town world? Remember how in love we used to be.
But I finally went to Chum, and that was the big thing. If I could get on Chum, I was going to be a star. So went to Al Slate owned it, or was the boss there. I says, Mr. Slate, I got a record. Can you play it for me? Well, it wasn't that easy. First I had to go about 3 or 4 times before I could get him to come out of the studio to see you in that little pivotal place. So finally I went there so many times that Al Slate says, here's what I'll do for you, Cos. Because I couldn't sell records unless they were on the charts. I went to Al Slate and I said, Al, bothered him again. Sorry to bother you, but could you play it? You know, I can't get in the stores. Nobody will buy the record to sell if it's not on your chum chart. Well, he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you 10 weeks up from bottom to the chart to go up. There was 50 or whatever there was. And I'll give you the same amount of time to bring it down. And that'll give you an opportunity to go to the stores with my little briefcase of my 45s.
Chum 10:50 a.m. in Toronto was the pinnacle of them all, with a massive following of rock and pop hits in the 1950s to the late 1970s. They developed the hugely popular and collectible Chum Chart, a top 50 ranking of hits updated weekly from 1957 to 1968. In August 1960, Cosimo Filane's hit My Girl, with Oh Mamma Mia on the flip side, landed on the chart at 43, rolling up and down in the rankings for many weeks. Cosimo was on the move from coast to coast, visiting disc jockeys, newspapers, and record stores at every town and city he visited. He was getting attention in all the right places. The city of Edmonton, Alberta, had a Cosimo Filane fan club. He was met by 2,000 fans at a dance in London, Ontario, and made several appearances on television with General Motors Presents and The Wayne and Schuster Show. In August 1960, he was quoted in the North Shore Sentinel newspaper from Nipigon. "I've been working hard, but I'm happy to be home in Schreiber for a couple of weeks' rest." His rest consisted of helping his father with the grocery store and eventually with the Villa Bianca Inn built by his parents in 1962. As time went on, Cosimo's drive for stardom never waned, but new priorities presented themselves in Schreiber, keeping him home more and more. In 1966, he married Diana, who is said to have quite a business acumen. Together, they built several businesses in Schreiber and raised 6 boys and 2 girls, instilling in them the importance of family, a common trait seen throughout the Italian community. Cosimo continued with his singing career, producing 6 albums, most of them under his own label, Cosiana and Fallen Rock.
I'm beginning to think that I need.
He sang at uncountable social events throughout his life and appeared annually for approximately 25 years on the Kinsman Mother's Day Telethon in Thunder Bay, raising money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Construction of the new arena was well underway in the fall of 1977, financed through the Ontario Lottery Grant and citizen donations. And in a few short years, a new concept for minor hockey was introduced.
They needed to play. I had 8 kids. They could play. There was a lot of kids that didn't play because they didn't afford it, couldn't afford it. And I'll go as far as saying some people didn't want some people. Unless you're good, nobody wants you. So I thought it the other way and went to the chief in Pace Plat, and between them and all the kids that were left over, because hockey was a little bit hard to get away to play for somebody else. So 35, I think it's about 35 years, 37 years ago, I decided to start Fallen Rock minor hockey. And from there, we're still going. We started with one team, and over the years we have now, I guess, from beginners to Adams and Pee-wees and midgets and bantams, and now we got a junior team. It's not making any money, it's costing us money, but for the minor stuff, we have never charged anybody to come with a registration if you wanted to play hockey. So if you have a son or a daughter that wants to play, and they want to play in Schreiber, they can play in Schreiber. They want to play for Fallen Rock Minor Hockey, which is this, it started from this concept. Or if you want to play in Terrace Bay, you're free to go. The coaches were good because they were all trained well. I think we got great coaches. Not that other people don't have great coaches, but it was good. And eventually my wife and I had help. Her being the secretary and me being the president, and still am. We just made it work.
If you stop at the Fallen Rock Resort and go inside, you just might find Cosimo behind the counter in a nostalgic cafe setting, jukebox filled with his hits, with albums and books available on request. It would only take a friendly hello to prompt him to sing one of his hits, and if he does, you would never
Forget about it, forget about it. You just wanna spend my money, I can see. Forget about it, forget about it. I'll find someone who wants my company. Everybody, forget about it, forget about it. You just wanna spend my money, I can see. Forget about it, forget about it. I'll find someone who wants my company. Someone who wants to spend some time with me. Someone who won't forget about it. Hey, 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 hey. When it comes to me, forget about it. You know, that same incident happened to me in London. At the Wonderland Gardens, the power went off. Anyway, that's the story of London at the Wonderland Gardens. And that's my latest song called Forget About It. I had lots of dreams. Some of them came true, and some of them are still, I'm working on them. Okay. Well, we can't walk with one foot. This is a song that the whole place is called This Is It. Let me tell you.
This is it. It's the time and place for a happy, happy day. This is it. Keep a smiling face and you'll chase the blues away. My friend, when the opportunity knocks, you'd better hear, or it may disappear. So say hello. Let's go. This is it. Take a look around at the sun that's shining through. I submit that you'll be astounded to learn what you can do. Let go of your hesitation, and it won't hurt a bit.
Make up your mind, and you're gonna find that, Andy, this is it. Let me tell you again, my friend, when the opportunity knocks, you'd better hear, or it may disappear. So say hello, let's go. Yes. Take a look around at the sun that's shining through. I submit that you'll be astounded to learn what you can do. Let go of your hesitation, and it won't hurt a bit. Make up your mind, and you're gonna find that, yes, folks, this is it. You ever come to Schreiber, look for the sign. That's right, girls, you tell them. Folks, this is it. Like the girls say, I want to thank you. It's been a great day. This is it.